for my part of the presentation, I would like to show you some of the cutting tools that we are supplying here in Europe. So if you are watching this live stream from anywhere apart from Europe, so maybe in North America, South America, Oceania, you know that the offer that you can see might be slightly different. However, in majority of cases, we try to have very similar offer globally. So if you see some of the saws that you like here, or maybe some of the other cutting tools on this presentation, make sure that you contact your local Wood-Mizer representative, and they will be able to supply you with their own catalog and offer. Just as an introduction, I would like to remind you that, you know, Wood-Mizer started as a bandsaw sawmill manufacturer, and whenever our offer grew of machines, so grew the demand for different cutting tools. So if you have watched our presentation from last week, we showed you the Wood-Mizer MB200 slab mizer, the slab flattener, and the cutting head there. We also supply here in Europe for the European market. So the MR200 double arbor multi-rip that Adam just presented a second ago, we are using our own supplied circular saws in that machine as well. And you know, our planer molders, all our other machines, we use our own supply. So I think that we can go forward, and I would like to also, you know, just to make sure you understand that the products that we are offering here is a premium quality product at very affordable prices. So whatever you see here, I'm going to try to give you as much details about our offer as possible, and we're going to go forward. So apart from Wood-Mizer thin curve narrow bandsaw blades, we also offer the wide bandsaw blades and frame saws. So the frame saw blades and wide bandsaws we don't have here in the presentation because they are so big and they are really made for custom order. And for anyone who is interested in wide band sawmills or frame saw blades, just contact us and we'll be able to cater your demands as well, because we do offer them in steel versions, carbide tip, you know, sharpened, unsharpened, set, not set, and different kinds of services like resharp. So globally we provide resharp services in majority of countries where we work. So in case if you see any of the cutting tools and you know you want them to get resharpened, refitted, you can contact your local Wood-Mizer representative. Also, just so that everybody understands, what I'm showing right here is not the full spectrum, is not the full range of our products. There's much more. It would be just physically impossible for me to go over all of those products and really you know, do it in a manner that is very interesting. And so we have limited to just the most important and most popular products. Before I start showing you any of the products, I would like to mention as well that our experts in Wood-Mizer have been working with Wood-Mizer cutting tools all around the world. So like I mentioned, America, so the North America, South America, Europe, Africa, Asia, emerging markets, Oceania, we've got a very large experience in cutting tools, and our experts have prepared Wood-Mizer tools catalog. So that's the cutting tools catalog, and every item that you see here is marked. Maybe I'll ask one of the cameramen maybe to show us one of the saws so you see the marking on the saw itself. So you see that the saw is marked with our logo, and so there are also some technical specifications and of course the SKU. So the item number or the product index, call it whatever you want, but every single product is marked, and this will make sure that it is easy to order those products and also reorder. So well, we do take pride in our cutting tools. So coming back to the catalog, maybe I'll show you the catalog, and I'll ask the cameraman as well, just quickly show you just a brief catalog, maybe here inside. And just right here, you can see there are many details in the catalog. Majority of our cutting tools are here, and almost all cutting tools that I'm going to be talking about today can be custom made for you. Thank you very much. Okay, so moving forward, I would like to mention how these tools are made. We supply our steel here in Europe, so we use only German and Swedish steel for our European markets, and for the carbide we source that in Switzerland, so it's a Swiss carbide. Doing that allows us to make sure that we supply the materials, the raw materials, from only the high-end manufacturers with a very thorough quality assurance procedures, so that so that you really can get really high-tech stuff from us. And you will see that with the circular saws. I will be mentioning few very interesting features that are available only on high-tech products. Moving forward, before I show you anything else, also I would like to make sure that you understand that similar to our bandsaw blades, every tool that you see here can be customized and modified to the operation that you are working on. Basically, meaning that we've got circular saws that are different thickness of steel, different thickness of carbide, different type of carbide coating, raker teeth, so many different features that we would be able to really get to you the perfect product for your operation. But to make that, we need to make sure that you contact us and speak to one of our experts. So if you contact us anywhere globally, you will be able to get the Wood-Mizer cutting tools catalog and get in contact to make sure that you get only the best cutting tools for your operation, which brings you, better return on your investment, better profitabilities. Let's start with circular saws. I'm just gonna quickly go around the circular saws, show you the features and maybe benefits of those features, and then we're gonna move forward. So I would like to show you from top to bottom what we've got here. Here is we've got rip saws for ripping, multi-rip saws here from the blackened steel. There are also some crosscut saws, specialty saws, and even a small scoring saw right here. I'm going to start by talking about the rip saws. So those rip saws are available in, like I said, in different configuration, depending what you're cutting. Doesn't matter if it's softwood, hardwood, green wood, maybe dry wood, glued, plywood, all different sorts of engineered boards, chipboard, laminated boards, saws for panel sizing, even MDF, HDF, LDF, stacks or single plates, whichever. It really depends on the configuration of the saw itself, so of the saw blade. As an interesting maybe feature here, maybe I'll ask the cameraman to come a bit closer and we'll show you on this blade right here the marking. So on the marking, we would be able to see that you would be able to customize, the number of your teeth, the bore size in the middle, what kind of mount you need, the actual diameter of the blade itself. So if we see here with this saw, for instance, right, we would be able to configure the saw for you depending on the hook angle that you need, like I said, bore diameter, the type of grind for your carbide tips. It will be very easy maybe to see on one of the other saws. We'll show it to you a bit later, the types of grinds. So the curve of the saw, the thickness of the steel, the thickness of the carbide, and of course the number of teeth. As some of the features that I would like to mention to you today from our circular saws is that they can come in different kinds of hook angles. So it can be a positive, negative. We would be able to cater to a different type of cutting material that you are cutting. Then interesting feature is, let's say, anti-kickback teeth, or some might call them the tooth limiter. We show this blade right here, the top right corner. We've got here a rip saw with a tooth limiter. As you can see, there is one carbide tooth and one tooth not sharpened at all. So this saw blade allows us to control the speed of the feed, meaning that you can't feed your material through the saw quicker. It will be stopped by the tooth limiter. This will prolong your blade life and also make sure that any operator that is operating with this saw will be safe at all times. I want to show you the openings on the saws. So let's start maybe here from the top and we'll go to bottom saws. So let's show this saw here in the middle at the top. You can see that this saw features expansion slots right here. These are so-called expansion slots. These relieve stress from the steel. Here are cooling slots. Like the name suggests, it makes sure that it cools down your saw. This basically just prolongs your saw blade life. The next thing that I would like to show you is maybe the noise-reducing laser cuts. Those are going to be available here at the crosscut saws and the specialty saws right here. So these cuts, what you can see, these are laser cuts for noise reduction. And a cut like this in your saw can reduce the noise produced by your saw for up to 50%. This translates, in a less fatigue for your operators, a better performance for your operators. It's really nicer to use specialty saws like that. Let's see if we will try to show you, but I can't promise you you'll be able to see that. But maybe we'll try to show you different types of grinds on our saws. So the first saw, and maybe the saw that would be easier to show this on, is this saw. And we want to show the grind on the actual carbide tip. Depending on the material you're cutting, depending on your production, depending really on the saws that you're using, the size of the engine, there are so many different circumstances in your operation that we are aware of, and we would be able to get you the right grind for you. So we would be able to offer you the alternate top bevel grind. That's something that we would use for, let's say, multi-rip saws, for saws with bigger engines, for higher feed speeds. The flat top grind saws, those also are available for the multi-rips and triple grind chip. Those are usually used for scoring saws. Here is a scoring saw right here, just a small tiny scoring saw. This is the there are two different types of scoring saws. There's this and also an adjustable scoring saw. So basically a scoring saw is something that would go in front of your main saw and take out like a small part of your cut to make sure that your cut is cleaner. And with adjustable scoring saw, you would be able to, to open up the saw a bit so that it takes a bigger curve out of your sawing material. On this scoring saw, there is the triple grind chip. This allows the scoring saw to remove more of the sawdust, more of the chips, so you get a cleaner cut. Before I go any further, I would like to mention that that majority of saws that we offer are available in two lines. One line is the standard line and the premium line. A standard line is a cheaper line. Those usually come with a thinner steel plates, thinner and smaller carbide tips. And the other line is the premium line. So the premium line might come with a thicker steel with coating and different kind of carbide tips. So our customers in Europe, they usually choose to buy from us premium saws. With those premium saws, you would be able to use them for a longer time, and it would have a greater return on investment. Having said that, majority of the saws are available for resharpening. So let's say if something happens to your saw, and at the time of sawing with a multi-rip or a rip saw, whichever, you hit a nail or a piece of metal and one or two teeth are missing. In some cases, we would be able to repair that saw. So we offer services like that as well. But like I said before, our services might differ from from continent to continent. We are talking today about the European offer, so we do offer this in Europe. If you would like to know more services that are available in your area and the catalog, what I mentioned before, make sure that you contact your local representatives. Okay, so I think we spoke about the rip saws. I would like to maybe move over to multi-rip saws. And the multi-rip saws that we can see here are blackened. And that's quite an interesting feature as well. That steel is blackened using gas coating, and this is thermally applied. So these blackened steel saws. A coating like this makes your actual surface of the saw have anti-friction capabilities, meaning that tar doesn't stick so much, there's no chip buildup on the saw, and a saw like this works for longer and better. And you might also see here there is some sort of marks. That's from saw dynamic balancing. So those saws really are a premium product. Here on this saw you can see that there are 4 raker teeth, 2 outer and 2 inner. This saw features raker teeth with carbide tip, and those have 2 kind of features. First feature is that it cleans the material, so your saw doesn't have so much friction in the material itself, and also it cools down the saw. This translates to a longer saw life. The saw next to it on the left here, first of all, it has got less number of teeth, and it hasn't got any carbide tip on those 4 raker teeth. This saw is getting more and more popular with our customers here in Europe. Really, they see that it has got very similar performance to saws with carbide tips, but this saw, just because it's without the carbide tips here on the raker teeth, it costs up to 25% less. And if we move lower, here is another interesting premium multi-rip saw. This one has got only 3 raker teeth, and these are all 3 outer teeth. This saw is quite popular with our emerging markets. It has got thicker steel, it's got larger carbide tips. It costs a bit more. However, the life of this blade is much longer. Here, just a bit above, we can see there are some specialty saws. So again, depending on the tooth grind, on the hook angle, on the type of the carbide tip that we are using, you would be able to choose a saw like this for cross-cutting, plywood, laminated materials, chipboards, LDF, MDF, and many different other kinds of materials. And these are also available in standard and premium. There are also some panel sizing saws right there. So those are for manual formatting or automatic lines, and depending on your material, those come in alternate top bevel grind or the triple chip grind. And at the very bottom, the biggest saw that you see right there, that's a crosscut saw, and those we supply in Europe in diameter up to 850 millimeters. With that kind of saw, you would be able to cut stacks of wooden materials, boards, plywood, any other engineered boards, or just single ones. And just to stress that all of the saws, all of the cutting tools that we offer, they come in many various configurations. Like I mentioned before, we would be able to cater for your demand depending what you need. The diameter of the saw, the number of teeth, carbide tip, hardness, stiffness, grind, different thickness of body, features, hook angles, and many, many more. I know this might sound overwhelming, and we know that, a customizable product like this, it's not easy to choose from. That's why we've got our experts at your disposal. So if you would like to buy some of the cutting tools and you would like to get the saw that will work longer and the best for your production, make sure that you contact our local representatives and they will help you to choose the right saw. The circular saws that we are selling here in Europe and other cutting tools, we offer 1-year warranty on those. And that is possible only because those cutting tools are made in high-end production facilities and they've got a very, very strict quality control. Okay, there was a lot. I'm aware of that. So let's move on from the circular saws to an impromptu table that we've got prepared here. And we are going to start maybe with a planer knife that I've got here on the table. I'm going to wear gloves, okay? Just because all the cutting tools are very, very sharp and we don't want any accidents happen as it's a live show. So here we go. This is a planer knife. We supply planer knives in different kind of widths. So you would be able to order from us a planer knife from 20 to 35 millimeters width, and those come up to 950 millimeters length, so really long ones. This particular one is 410 millimeters long planing knife. We use that in our planers and our woodworking machines that we are going to be presenting next week. So if you're interested in that, make sure that you tune in. Those we can customize for customers as well. And as other cutting tools, those are available in HSS steel, the HM carbide steel, and also we supply chrome steel knives. So chrome steel knives are a bit softer. Those ones are mainly used for only softwood, and they've got shorter, shorter cutting life. However, they're much, much cheaper. But if you are working with very soft wood, this does make sense to get chrome steel. With the planer knives, those are available in different customizations as well. So for instance, I'll ask the operator to come a bit closer again. On our planing knives, there is a mounting hole opening here, this opening right here. We use that opening to level the knife in our planers and other woodworking machines. You might get a serrated back planing knife. So for cutting heads with a serrated mount, so basically that's a interesting feature for a planing knife, meaning that whenever you get it back from sharpening or whenever you mount it for the first time on your cutting head, you can set it perfectly and align all your knives perfectly using the serrated back here. Okay, we're gonna go next to our drills right here, and this is something that we have very recently added to our offer. And as you can see here, we have prepared for you two different types of drills here. The dowel drills and the through drills. We do also have some boring drills for some special different purposes. Those we order only for a custom order, because those come also in so many different configurations. These drills are available in carbide monolith and carbide tip. So carbide monolith would mean that the drill bit itself actually would come made from carbide, and those drills are available, the smaller ones. And I'll show you the next drill. Next drill here is a carbide tip. Here you can see it's just a carbide tip drill. Okay. The carbide tip drills, we're also going to be introducing the smaller, thinner ones as well. And the usual marking for our professionals. Here is some of the drills you've seen. They are marked red, just so that you can quickly identify the right drill and the left drill for your operation. Okay, let's move on to the cutting heads, because cutting heads is also an interesting product, and I do like cutting heads myself, because they come in so many different configurations. The cutting heads that we have prepared for you today here are the ones that we are using in our woodworking machines that we are going to be presenting next week. So make sure you tune in for that as well. And here you can see that's just a 40mm high cutting head for your 50mm blades here. Then there is a 100mm high cutting head right here. Those cutting heads, they do differ also in their configuration. As you can see, this cutting head here is with 3 knives, and this cutting head is with 4 knives. So really, depending on the size of the machine, the size of the motors you use in your machines, we would be able to get you the right cutting heads as well. The knives that you can see in these cutting heads, these are just the regular HSS steel knives. When you order cutting heads from us, they usually come in with planer knives, or or a steel, just to make sure that you can they're already weighted and you can use them straight away when you get them. However, like I said before, the offer might differ from country to country and from continent to continent. For more details, contact your local representatives. So to make sure that we can get this kind of instrument very safe to our customers, we make sure that we package it the right way. So here is a typical packaging for our bigger cutting heads. As you can see, it's a plywood box with a wing nut screw on the top. And here is the actual cutting head. You can see it's mounted with another nut right here. Okay, so packaging like this makes sure that we can ship cutting heads and our cutting tools all over the world safely. And before I let you go, maybe I'll show you here there is a packaging, regular packaging for our circular saws. This is how they're packaged when they're delivered. And to make sure that we get to you the right product, we always mark our packaging so that we are sure that we are sending you the right one, and then what you receive is what you get. And like I said, the same kind of marking of the product index or the item number, SKU, whichever you call it, is on the blade itself as well. So packaging is very important for us as well. Before we go any further, I would like to show you an interesting product which is has been added to our offer just really very recently, and these are the specialty cutting heads. We'll ask the operator to come a bit closer, and these are different from the standard cutting heads in a way that as you can see here, this is a cutting head for tongue and groove, right? Both cutting heads here, those are meant to be used with carbide plates, so a carbide knife. This isn't an HSS knife, it's a carbide knife, and this is already an advanced cutting instrument, so you would be able to use that in, you know, medium-sized to a large-sized production with producing tongue and groove boards. Instruments like this, instruments that we are using, that we are showing you here, the cutting tools, those will allow you to produce at higher rates, better finish and better quality wooden materials. So really, for anyone who is interested, I do suggest that you contact your local Wood-Mizer representatives, get yourself sorted with a catalog, the one I showed you before, that's prepared by our experts. And the last product what I've got here for you are our molding knives. So it's just a regular set of molding knives. I think that's the standard set of molding knives that we supply for our customers, and you can buy that for our four-sided planer molders. This is a HSS set of knives, and you know, here on a, you know, here's an illustration of what kind of sample profiles you might get buying a set like this. We do have different kinds of sets, and you would be able to order only a, let's say, a pair of knives, not just a set. And in case if you are looking to produce something very special for one special customer, you would be able to order from us a unique profile molding knife, meaning that if you can draw it, we can make it. If you want to order a unique profile knives from anywhere in the world, those are available from all our representatives globally as well.